One of the problems is that for these shows, I really do put a lot of pressure on myself to have it be edited perfectly, for it to just like look perfect. And that means I do a lot of notes ahead of time. I record it. The recording part is like the easiest part, but then post, you have to do a lot of editing on the audio side, on the video side. I wanted to make it a little bit easier on myself and have it so maybe it doesn't need to be perfect. Maybe I just record it for fun and put out whatever I recorded with no changes, no audios. Probably won't have names on screen as we're going. Probably won't have fight clips or photographs on screen as we're going. And I think that's an okay thing. But what I want to do is play Halo while I'm doing this. So if you're a fan of Halo, welcome to the show. If you're not a fan of Halo, I'm sorry. We're going to be talking a lot about Halo. So this will be a kickboxing podcast and a Halo podcast at the same time. So what I'm playing is the Master Chief Collection, and this has a bundle of the old Halos all in it. So it has Halo Reach, Halo 1, 2, 3, 4, all in the same bundle, and Halo 3 ODST all in the same bundle. And I'm just playing random multiplayer, so it'll cycle between, as you can see on screen, Halo Reach, Halo 1, Halo 2. And somehow I thought, oh, this will be easier to edit later on. And maybe it is. And maybe I'm bad at editing podcasts or something like that. Who knows? But hopefully it works out okay. I do prefer, as you can see here, I only want to play Halo Reach, Halo 1, and Halo 2. For some reason, Halo 4 is just really uncomfortable for me. I don't know why. Halo 3, I didn't play very much when I was young, so it feels a little weird. Halo 1 and 2, I played for my whole life. I played it for, I'm blue. I played it for my whole life, so Halo 1 and 2 just feel perfect to me. Halo Reach is just really well made, so it feels really nice. Okay, so we are playing a Halo 2 map here with original graphics. This is, there was a high definition re-release or anniversary mode or whatever it was, but this is not it. It's just original. I don't love the anniversary mode very much. I have this battle rifle game, and I'm happy to have a battle rifle, but I don't like when the enemies have a battle rifle because I'm actually not good at Halo. And when they have a battle rifle, everyone's better than I am. That's also another secret. Despite kind of really liking Halo, I'm pretty bad at it. But this is just fun. And because all the games are about 20 years old, the only people left playing are fucking studs. You know what I'm saying? Just the coolest people you could possibly imagine who would be playing a 20-year-old game. Folks, this weekend we have the 2024 RISE Featherweight Grand Prix. It is quite an exceptional looking tournament. One of the best tournaments I think we've had in the last year for kickboxing. Glory has thrown away their featherweight and lightweight division, so they're sending all their best featherweights over to Glory, where there's really good, great, even fighters there. This and the timing on this Grand Prix could not be better because all of these guys have actually fought each other and won or lost to each other, and it's been a very odd 12 months for this division. It used to just be that the Muay Thai kickboxing fighter Pech Panmarong was dominant and no one could touch him. And over the last 12 months, that's changed. People have gotten better around him is certainly one of the aspects, but it is mostly to do with... Age is one of the aspects, yes, but I think people around him have gotten a lot better. There's a lot better competition for him now than there was even just like 2 or 3 years ago kind of thing. So last year, Pech, he kind of had lapped the competition by beating Kento Haraguchi, who was the 145 champion in RISE. He'd beaten him like 3 times. 2 of them were pretty close, 1 was pretty dominant. But he was just lapping the competition. There was not a ton of people left for him. So with headshots in Halo, headshots are almost the wrong word. No, headshot is the right word, but I always want to aim at their face, but you don't want to aim at the visor. You want like almost the top of the helmet for headshots. There's 3 guys. Not doing great, but like I said, I'm not good at Halo. I just think it's fun. So Petch was doing laps around the competition, and then in Rise, he fought the Shark Chad Collins. Chad Collins is a veteran Muay Thai fighter from Australia. He had, I think, WBC Muay Thai titles, I want to say off the top of my head. I think I can do it. I got a grenade. I spit far. That's the guy. Yeah. Tough one. He got the noob combo. It's where you use a plasma pistol with another gun to lower the shields quickly. Oh, see, they're traveling together. They're so good. When the groups travel together, they're very good. And he lost to Chad Collins in a really close, really fun matchup. That came down to, like, each one was winning the first 2 rounds. And then the other person won the other 2 rounds. And then it came down to the 5th round. And what I really liked in that matchup was you could see how deep someone like Chad Collins can dig. He can find that reservoir of willpower, and really that reservoir was probably deeper than he thought it was. And us as fans saw the same thing, that he is exhausted, right? I mean, he has a sniper rifle. I'm not going to beat him. He was exhausted, but he continued fighting. His willpower could not be broken in that fight. And that's the kind of thing that you really like to see in a professional fighter. And then I say all that, and in his very next fight, he lost a first-round knockout to Miguel Trinidade. So in this tournament, those are the big 3. Chad Collins, Petch, and Miguel Trinidade. And the reason this is such a good tournament, now you can read on Beyond Kickboxing the predictions from all of the dorks. And it really comes down to those 3 people. But at the same time, everyone in those articles is saying the same thing of, I really don't know how this is going to go. And that's what makes it such a good tournament, because we could see Miguel Trinidade knock out everyone in like 2 minutes and just walk through the competition. Sure, that could happen. You could see Petch march through the competition using his outside body kick, his Muay Thai style body kick. Sure, that could happen. Absolutely no problem. Or you could see Chad Collins dig deep and be able to defeat the entire competition with his really tight, sharp Muay Thai. Yes, that could happen. But even tournaments are such odd things that, like, some outsider, like, who else we got there? Abraham Vidalis and Berjan Proposhi. I think they set the record for most strikes thrown in a glory fight with like 500 strikes just in 9 minutes. He had a sniper rifle. So if those 2 guys, like, those 2 guys are not slowing down in any way, right? I'm out of here. Oh, we're done. Not even close, baby. So our team got dominated, and I was last on my team. And talking about kickboxing was really nice. So you could have something very odd, like someone like Petch is injured a little bit, exhausted a little bit. You know, he goes to war against Taiju Shiratori, and then the next round he's going to end up fighting probably someone like Berjan Proposhi, who's never going to stop running at him, never going to stop throwing punches. My mic's not on, right? In-game? Could you imagine how annoying that would be if my mic was on in Halo? Voice chat off. Push to talk off. It might have been on. So Taiju Shiratori is the fighter in this tournament that I am most unfamiliar with. Most unfamiliar with, certainly, but also I think he's probably the one person that I would say is not the dark horse to take the whole thing. Everyone in this tournament is kind of a dark horse to take it, in all honesty. And I would say that he's not one of them. Lee Seong-hung was, I think he goes by the Korean Demon. Again, a really volume heavy fighter who never gives up, digs deep when the chips are down. Gonna be playing a Halo 2 map. I don't know what color I am. Battle rifle, so I'll have a battle rifle, which is great, but my enemies will also have a battle rifle, which I don't like. I think I'm blue. Berjan Proposhi, really great volumetric striker. And like, I could see Berjan Proposhi or Abraham Vidalis taking the entire thing. Lee Seong-hung could. I think he exhausts himself really quickly. And in a tournament format, that's not exactly the kind of thing that you want to do. And who else we got? Chad Collins, yes. Very good because his his game also counters someone like Petch really well by being better at Muay Thai than Petch, right? So Petch is an exceptional kickboxer, and the way that Chad Collins was able to defeat him was by out Muay Thaiing him, right? Beating him in the clinch and countering the outside leg kick by grabbing it and countering it. That's what you need to do. You need to be a better Muay Thai fighter than him. You can't really be a better kickboxer. But at the same time, Petch might just outside body kick everybody in the tournament. Who else is there? Kento Hiraguchi. Really, really great fighter. In all honesty, he's a great fighter. 2 narrow losses to Petch and then 1 not narrow loss to Petch. But there's no shame in that. And the issue is that I feel he was like a Kyokushin national champion, karate amateur, kickboxing amateur, national champion in Japan. He's very seasoned, really impressive veteran of kick fighting. Oh, he had the sword. But sometimes he tries to show up and be like a boxer on skates kind of thing. If you're wondering what I'm doing, it's watching the mini map. Yeah, I knew somebody was around. Trying to figure out where they are. Faded means they're probably below you. And I forget how it works on Halo 2. Ah, they shot me before I could even see them. I can't. Oh, this guy. So if Kento Hiraguchi shows up and tries to box with everyone, he's not going to win. But if he plays to his Kyokushin karate strengths, then he actually has the skills to probably make it to the finals. Got him. Got him. But he's also fighting the first round against Miguel Trinidad, who might just knock him out. Got an overshield. Miguel Trinidad could just knock him out in the first round. Kento Hiraguchi is a hittable fighter, by all means. He had the sword! So he might go to war and get damaged over 3 rounds, and then he's exhausted for the rest of the tournament. Or he gets knocked out, or he dominates the match. So, you know, it's such a good division that we're finally going to figure out who's #1 here. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a really fun event. He had the sword, and it's a really fun event, and I'm really looking forward to it. Oh, I think I got Chan Hyung Lee and Lee Seung Hung mixed up. But yeah, we're going to have Chan Hyung Lee, the Korean demon, fighting Panawat TGT. Now, Panawat TGT was the guy that I said keep a close eye on him. Really incredibly skilled young fighter, still developing in what he... But he reminds me a lot of a young Tension with, and they come from the same gym as well. A lot of his punching, like that kind of left hook into the dash and cross, is exactly what Tension does. Anyway, I think this is a coming out party for Panawat TGT. They put me in the same spawn point where I died? I'll just hang out. And he's going to be fighting the Korean demon Chan Hyung Lee. Sorry, I got him mixed up with Lee Seung Hung. My apologies for that. But yeah, Chan Hyung Lee, really exciting, really interesting fighter. Fun to watch. 2 guys there. I wasn't going to win that. But Panawat TGT is definitely one to keep an eye on. All right. Let's move forward. It's going to be... Yeah. Ah, noob comboed me. You have a sword. We'll get him next time. And I hope that RISE continues with this division, because it is an exceptional division and it's a really exciting division. I hope that they can keep all these guys active. I hope they can pay these guys enough to keep the division interesting and keep it going, you know? I gotta stop running at guys when there's 2 of them or more. I'm blue. Okay. Sometimes I forget. I think he's AFK. So I'm not the worst guy on the team, but the guy away from his own keyboard is about the same score as me. Not to brag. All right, last week we had Rico Verhoeven win a tight, close, competitive decision against the young Levi Rigters. Levi Rigters has long been dubbed the Prince of Kickboxing, and his throne has been held by the King of Kickboxing, Rico Verhoeven. The two had met. How did that not hit him? Are you kidding me? Map hackers over here. Yeah. The guy left, so now I'm probably the worst guy in the game by quite a large margin. If you're using an elite, apparently there's something like they're a little bit wider, so they're easier to shoot at. And I actually don't know if it's... I know in Halo 2 people had said that. I don't know if it's true in Halo Reach, but it's cooler to be an elite than a Spartan. Anyway. So Rico Verhoeven... Every Tim. Oh my god, I might go hide for the rest of the game and maybe those guys can win it for me. No, it didn't happen. Where's my talk about? Rico Verhoeven and Levi Rigters. This was a really good fight. If you are getting someone into kickboxing, this might be the kind of fight that you show them. Because it was really exciting. Back and forth, both guys showed their best. And both guys showed their best. And it felt a lot more competitive than their first fight, despite Levi getting a knockdown really in both fights. Yeah, 18 deaths. It was a close one. That might not make it into the cut. I might just edit that out, put that I won. This was a really, really great fight. And I'd watch it again because it was tactically a really fun fight. They're trading, low kicks in the pocket. They're doing different things with their guard. Rico is trying the guard pull down and then counter that he always does. It's a really cool thing that what he does is the guard pull down, because a lot of guys do the double forearm guard in kickboxing. So what he does is just grab the guard, pull it down, which you're fully allowed to do. So this will be a Halo Reach game. And then he'll low kick them, or he'll pull the guard down and do an overhand right, or it's combining it into it. So pull the guard down, fake one of those, and then do the other. And it's a really cool thing that he does. Levi Rigters has so clearly improved over the last few years that we've been watching him. He went from a guy who didn't have a ton of cardio, but was an incredible kicker, to now he's a really complete, nearly flawless fighter. Like I think he's easily number 2 at heavyweight. He just happens to be competing during the same era as Rico Verhoeven, He's a... what's the word I'm looking for? Always the bridesmaid kind of thing here, and that's not his fault. What's going on here? Someone's chasing me. Halo Reach is just made so well. It just feels so comfortable playing it, I'm so sorry. How's my guy? I'm blue shooting red. Okay. It's just a matter of the way that Rico Verhoeven fights. I don't know if there's a heavyweight alive that can really beat him. And he is competing during, a weaker era. And that's not his fault. The debate forever has been if he was competing during the golden era in K1, would he have done well? And we don't really know the answer. Some people like Remy Bonyaski really directly say like this Rico wouldn't have even been top 10. I go back and forth, to be honest with you. My older episodes, I was probably saying is Rico would have been not good in the original K1 Grand Prix, but now, honestly, he probably would have been top 5, top 3. It was a really good division, but his style is really well made to protect himself and counter others. I saw the sniper down there, so I'm not going to go, not moving. Oh, yeah, I see the sniper there. I don't have a long weapon, but I don't want to leave my guys. Classic Halo. So it was a great fight. I don't know what's next for Rico Verhoeven. He didn't really call out Francis Ngannou in the end, which I was expecting him to do, because that's what had been rumored. All the headlines leading up to the fight were about him trying to get a fight with Francis Ngannou. I know that the PFL is open to crossover fights, and I know that Glory's definitely open to crossover fights. It is just a matter of an MMA fighter versus a kickboxer. What do you do for like a rule set, you know? And I don't know what the right answer is. If all organizations and fighters want to be involved, I don't know what the right answer for what one should do. Anyway, he didn't call him out, and I think that's definitely not going to happen at this point. I think it was just a talking point. Ow! Stop it! No! Yeah, where were we? If they want to keep this active, I would say that they can do crossover events with other organizations. Like K1 does actually have a pretty good heavyweight division, as in they have one really good fighter, Lucy, and then some okay fighters. You know, that K1 event just this past week, like we've been talking about it all year. The K1's going to have regional tournaments that lead to this big open weight tournament at the end. Because of injuries and just weird stuff that happened throughout the tournament, this only happened like 4 or 5 days ago, this tournament, and I've basically forgotten about it at this point. Ariel Mercado, who's a light heavyweight, who was just pretty good in Glory, he won at heavyweight and beat everyone, so that's cool. Good for him. And no notes. Like, I just don't... Good. Great. That's a really cool tournament. It didn't go exactly as they planned. Lucy was not in it. So it just didn't have the same sting as it would otherwise. Yeah, I don't know. Like the K1 Max was so much better. K1 Max was so good. And you can see that there's so much opportunity and future potential in the K1 Max that they had earlier this year. But I genuinely think that this heavyweight open weight Grand Prix is not the way forward. Because you just saw the result of it. And it wasn't great. Like I live in kickboxing. I love kickboxing. And that was just fine. It was pretty good. And again, a few days later, I've already forgotten what the heck happened. Got an assist. Oh, but we're doing bad. We're winning. Oh, I missed. Ah! Ow. Okay. There's like a saga of idiocy between Claudio Estrada and Sina Carimian. Since these two guys... That's fine. Since these two guys fought... Well, not since. I mean, these guys had one of the worst, dirtiest fights in the history of combat sports overall. Get out of here. I'm doing so bad. Maybe talking and trying to play Halo at the same time is challenging. But at the same time, maybe I'm also just bad at Halo and talking about kickboxing for that matter. Maybe I'm just bad at both of those things. Cool. All right, focus on me. Face. Cool. So Sina Carimian and Claudio Estrada had the worst, dirtiest fight of all time. Kicking each other in the crotch, hitting each other after the bell, hitting the referee after the bell, hitting each other in the back of the head despite the warnings. It was to the point that you could have red carded both of them, because if you give them a warning and then they do the same thing again, they're not going to follow regulation. After that fight, things didn't get better for either man. Claudio Estrada competed in the European Grand Prix, lost, complained that, sorry, not lost. He had a draw, so they had to go to an extension round. and he protested. So he walked out, which disqualified him from the rest of the Grand Prix. And then K1 thought, we should bring these guys back. Like, why? After all that, why would you bring these guys back, you know? There you go. Well, we won. I was just the worst player on it. And then they brought them back and they fought each other. And big surprise is that they both started cheating right away. Claudio Estrada hit Cena Crimian in the back of the head. And Cena Crimian, look, let's have some balls about this. Cena Crimian pretended to be injured and pretended to be knocked out. There's like, that's just, he was trying to get his opponent disqualified, but it was too early in the fight. So they just called it a no contest. And then Cena Crimian's management went out there and claimed, that he had brain damage. Well, first of all, you can't really test for brain damage until you've passed away. And then they said he should be in the Grand Prix. If he has brain damage, he can't compete a month later. You silly goose. I think the whole team seemed to have brain damage at this point. So anyway, K1's like, whatever. Apparently there's only a few heavyweights we can actually find on Earth. So we will bring both of these guys in. Claudio Estrada is back in the tournament and Cena Crimian just has a fight. And I'm not even going to check the results off the top of my head. I'm not even going to check the official results. It just doesn't matter. Claudio Estrada hit some guy in the back of his head. He went down. Claudio said it didn't happen. What? It happens in every fight he has. Is this one going to be any different? So they disqualified him or red carded or whatever it was. Cena Crimian, something other stupid happened with him and they disqualified him or something like that. So now in the last 3 fights, these guys have had like 5 between them, like 3 no contests and 2 disqualifications and no wins. What a stupid saga this has been. And they're most notable for complaining on the internet about it, or they're most notable for complaining on the internet about each other, about how poorly they're being treated. If you're repeatedly being disqualified, it's not some grand... In fact, K1 could have treated them a lot worse. I think they were very nice to them and gave them a lot of opportunities. I don't want to go up there. Gave them a lot of opportunities to recover, or not recover. Give them a lot of opportunity. Am I red? I'm red.
Lost the lead.
They have almost been punished too little for how stupid of a saga this has been. What else do we have going on? Anyway, Rico Verhoeven, yeah, best heavyweight of the last generation. Just like not even close. Trying to draw me in there, but we all throw grenades. Let's just go here, I guess. Hey, I'm first on my team, which means my team fucking sucks. My team is just terrible if I'm first on the team. And so on the technical side, Levi Rigters' right hook that he dropped Rico Verhoeven with the right hook that he dropped Rico Verhoeven with. It's a really good example of how not to overthrow, how not to wind up on it. You don't need to put everything behind it. You don't need to be throwing haymakers every time out. As long as you throw with proper formation, you can do a lot of damage. And that's what that hook was. It wasn't extremely heavy with everything he had behind it. It was just the proper form. It was technically perfect. He had his leg, he had his hip, shoulders turned into it, and it was fast and it landed behind the guard or over the jab. So you don't need to throw all the power as long as you know how to throw it properly. And that's a really good display of that. And a very, very impressive hook. That dropped Rico Verhoeven and really almost won Levi the fight because of how good it was. Rico Verhoeven did get him back with a knockdown later in the fight, and that was exceptional. But I think if these two guys, despite how close their matches have been, not close, but Levi has been really close to beating Rico Verhoeven more than a lot of other opponents. I think unlike Jamal Ben Saddik or Badr Hari, if you pair these guys up at different times in their careers and you do these matches 10 times, maybe Jamal Ben Saddik gets him one of those times or Badr Hari gets him one of those times. I don't know. I think if you have these two guys fight 10 times, pretty much it's going to look like this. All right, let's move on. We had Tariq Kababez have a very, very close fight against Donegi Abina to defend his title against the top-ranked Donegi Abina, who had just defeated him earlier this year in the Grand Prix. I'm not going to run over it too much. Really, really good fight. I mean, these two always have really good, exciting fights. Donegi Abina has been training boxing for a while with the Fury family. I think he was working directly with Tommy Fury. Anyway, we have some videos of him and John Fury working together. And I believe he is now retired from kickboxing and will focus purely on boxing. For him, I'm not really sure. I do think he needs to start at the amateur level and then work his way up. And I think that's part of the plan, is that he'll really cut his teeth, maybe look at working with the Olympic team or something like that. I think there's a lot of opportunities for him. I did have a private conversation with him after, and oh my goodness. And I won't say anything that he said. Miyuu Sugawara, the second K1 atomweight champion, is going to retire from kickboxing to try shotgun to go into amateur boxing and maybe the Olympics. And that's cool. She is a really kick-heavy fighter. I don't know how she's going to do in boxing, to be honest with you. But of course, she'll keep developing. She'll keep getting better, in the gym every day, kind of. Oh my God, I missed. She was very much in the strategy of what K1 was going to do for the next few years, of using hot chicks, essentially, because she was a ring girl and stuff like that. They had made a tournament for her to win, and then Faya Hong had defeated her, and then she did not beat Koyoki Miyazaki, who was extremely good, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, she retired. I think she will do very well in boxing, and eventually I think she'll actually come back to K1, because they have a really good working relationship, and she's very well built for kickboxing. What else do we have? Jamal Ben Saddik has been confirmed to be back, I think in February of 2025. I think he's going to compete in the Netherlands. That is very exciting. He's one of the biggest names in kickboxing. Still a very young man in his early 30s, so he can still have a very long 10 years of heavyweight fighting ahead of him. Pretty good puncher, pretty good kicker, tons of power, tons of skill. And survived cancer, survived arrest, survives PED, suspensions, all sorts of different stuff for this man. But yeah, excited to see him back. Last week, we also had a RISE 184. Ryu Hanuaka had defeated Jin Mandakoro. This was a rematch where Jin had defeated him during a Grand Prix last time they fought. And that was a coming out party for Jin, where we looked at Jin Mandakoro and wow, this guy's so much better than we expected because he beat Ryu in that way. Ryu in this fight was in the Matrix. This man was so good in this fight. This was one of the best performances of this year in a position where he really needed the win. I think it was for a vacant title against a guy that he had already lost to. Jin Mandakoro was the favorite coming in. But Ryu Hanuaka, everything had just aligned for him to have the perfect fight. He was dodging and leaning back. He was slipping. He was evading. He was throwing kicks and punches where his opponent wasn't. He was making Jin hit air. Honestly, if you can find this fight online or find the highlights, this is one of the best performances of this year. Won a vacant title, avenged a loss. I cannot wait to see Ryu Hanuaka fight again, because this was an exceptional performance. I am just tickled by this. This is one of those reasons where, you get some dumb stuff like K1's heavyweight division and you get kind of tired of like, maybe the sport's stupid. Maybe I'm just sick of this. But then that fight happens, Ryu Hanuaka and Jin Mandakoro, and I'm back in. This is why you love kickboxing. Seeing a fighter of those, two fighters of that high skill level trading, going back and forth, and really dominating. Like, that was such a good fight. Really, him competing in the Matrix. This is probably the best performance of his entire career. I hope he continues to get better, but this was one of those moments. It's like training for months and months and overcoming the moment. Just absolutely incredible stuff. Tessa Takam was able to defend her title against Arina Kobayashi. So Arina Kobayashi was my fighter of the year last year because she had some incredible knockout wins over the other champions in her division. Now she's going up in weight to try and take the title off of Tessa DeCom. Now, put it into perspective of Arina Kobayashi and Tessa DeCom are both champions. This is a champion versus champion showdown. And, but Arina was going way up in weight. I think it was like 6 kilograms or something like that. So it is actually quite a fair amount, and it showed in the fight. But at the same time, this was the best Tessa DeCom we've ever seen. So she's done with school now, so she's able to train in kickboxing full time, and it showed because she was on fire in this fight. And it wasn't just looking good compared to, it was looking good compared to what we had seen before. Because we knew that she had extremely high skills before, but in this fight, you could see it over 5 rounds, and she was aggressive. Yeah, I want that. She was aggressive throughout the entire fight, and she threw like hundreds of punches in this bout, especially the knees, but combination punching was... Come on. Don't touch me. She looked incredible in this fight is what I'm getting at. And the cardio was improved. The combination striking was improved. Extremely, extremely impressive performance from Tessa DeCom, who I cannot wait. I hope they find some more opponents for her. I think she has a pretty open contract, so she can compete in RISE. She has won titles already in Infusion and I forget the other organization. Glory's kind of done with women's fighting. They're just going to focus on big boys, I guess. But yeah, Tessa DeCom is just absolutely awesome. Cannot wait to see her fight more. I don't know what opponents they will try to do or what organization, but wherever she goes and competes, we're all going to be watching because she's absolutely awesome to watch. Also on this card, you had Kiyoki Miyazaki get a head kick knockout win. Now, Kiyoki Miyazaki might be up, or Tessa DeCom would be up for Female Fighter of the Year because Kiyoki had that really good win over Miyuu Sugawara earlier this year, champion of K1. They're traveling together. It's just cheating. Where's my team? And then she beat 2 pretty good fighters after that. Like one of them had no kickboxing wins, and then this person, I don't know, was barely a professional. So those are 2 pretty good wins, but it was the win over Miyuu. What are you doing? It was the win over Miyuu that really seals it. And it was a close fight, and they had to go to a draw round. So it's either your Female Fighter of the Year would be a very close win over Miyuu or a dominant win over Arena, but they're very clearly different weight classes. And yeah, we don't know. We will see what the votes come in as, and I will respect the results. Is that it for kickboxing? I do feel like there's something I'm forgetting. I really wanted to cover the RISE Grand Prix this weekend. We talked about Levi and Rico. Cool. Well, I'll finish this game and then I'll talk to y'all next week or something like that. And maybe we'll do the year-end stuff. Not even close, baby. Oh, if any of you guys want to play Halo with me, my gamer tag's on screen. Like, you can just find me, Baratheon7954. I don't really know how to add friends. Maybe add me on Steam. Superbond Khan. Superbond, like Khan, like the Mongolian king. All right. For the rest of this game, it's Halo 2. It's my MO. I'm going to try to focus. Go Sue. I'm just too good. What is this, MLG? Pro gaming moment. Ah! Please don't shoot me. Back in the day, I knew some guys who were MLG Pro Halo gamers. They were really good at Halo. And I played with them for a bit. And I remember them dominating and beating us, and then the whole time being like, I hate this so much. Because they were pro gamers, so their day job was playing Halo. And because of that, it just wasn't fun. And that was one of the worries of trying to get into combat sports as a professional. I of this becoming my career, would I end up hating combat sports? And I've done it for several years now, and the answer is no. I'd rather love it. Sometimes K1's heavyweight division makes me think I should quit or whatever. Can you stop talking? Unbelievable. Holy. I'm just going to say it's lag. Even though it's just me being bad at Halo. It's bloody lag. See, this is what I was talking about. When I have battle rifle and enemy not have battle rifle, it's good. Oh, he got a shield. I hate him so much. These guys are pros. These guys are MLG. Decent. Decent, decent, decent. There's a sword on this map? Come on, get close to me. Where is he? We're back on the scoreboard. Half of our team's kills are just one guy. This is so embarrassing. I can't believe I'm doing this like publicly. Ugh. Like these are the games I decided to show off. I could have been playing the single player or something like that, having fun with that. Instead, I decided to embarrass myself playing multiplayer on camera, record it for a bunch of people to see. Rico Verhoeven's gonna watch this. He's Penowet TGT's gonna watch this. And they're going to be like, why is this guy so bad at talking about Halo and kickboxing at the same time? I wasn't good at them separately either. All right. Well, this has been Kick Weekly with Tim Wheaton. I'll try to come back next week with a year-end review, awards, that sort of stuff. Do watch the RISE Featherweight Grand Prix because it's just absolutely amazing. And we are waiting to see male fighter of the year, maybe dependent on this Grand Prix. Folks, massively appreciate your time. Thanks for playing Halo and talking kickboxing with me. Hopefully it was fun. Let me know if I should play some other games or I should drop that shtick altogether. Or if some other people are just wanting to watch Halo and think maybe I should drop the kickboxing shtick altogether. Folks, massively appreciate your time. Thank you so much, folks. We'll talk to you all soon.